Codependency. This term gets thrown around a lot, and not many people really understand it, really know what it means. So when someone comes to me saying, I think I'm codependent when it comes to my ex, I usually ask them what that means to them. Now, most people, they can't explain it. And this is a problem, right? If you can't understand what codependency is, you'll never make the changes needed to become attractive again, or to become more attractive. So let me try and just break it down very simply. Codependency is when you feel responsible for your ex's emotions and their happiness. And in this video, I will dive deeper into what this really means and how you can turn this pattern around fast so you can therefore mend your relationship sooner. Now, just recognizing these behaviors is often enough to make radical changes in how you approach getting your ex back, but more importantly, it will help you develop the self-respect needed to either rebuild a healthy relationship with your ex or even walk away if that is what's best for you. So my name is Max Jancar, and I've been helping people deal with breakups for over 5 years now. I help millions of people worldwide through my website and my books, courses, and coaching offers. And what I noticed is that codependency is the root of most failed reconciliation attempts. Now here's the core issue. If you believe that making your ex happy all the time will prevent them from leaving you again, or maybe it will enable them to give you yet another shot, well, you're caught in a codependent pattern, one of the most common ones, right? So now the unspoken agreement becomes, I'll never leave you if you let me do whatever I want, from your ex's side, as in they will never leave you permanently, which is the case for a lot of toxic exes specifically, not the case for all exes in general, of course, just making a note out of that. Now, on your side, when it comes to your end, this agreement becomes, I'll do anything to actually keep you. Now, the signs are pretty clear when you look at it through this lens. You feel like you can't be yourself around your ex. You're always walking on eggshells. You're constantly trying to save or take care of them or fix their problems, right? Which are fundamentally not your responsibility, especially now that you guys are broken up. And you just can't set boundaries, and you avoid rocking the boat at all costs. Some people, they feel even responsible for managing their emotions, their ex's emotions. And all of these things, it destroys your self-esteem because you're living essentially for someone else's validation, for someone else's peace of mind and happiness. And here's where I'm gonna get a bit controversial. Most advice out there, it will tell you to be more understanding of your ex. It will tell you to show more compassion, to try harder to see their perspective. But if you're codependent, you're already doing too much of all of that. So the real solution, well, have compassion for yourself. I need you to kill the double standard. Why does your ex get to set all of the terms while your needs don't matter? Why are their feelings more important than yours? Now, the cure for codependency isn't trying harder to understand your ex, as you'd assume. It's understanding that you fucking matter. And when you start believing that you actually matter, everything changes. You can, for one, say no to them. You can stand up for what you believe in. If they aren't treating you well, if you feel that you aren't respected or valued, you can tell them to find someone else. You can reject them and move on for good. And that really is powerful, both in terms of reattraction and in terms of just being more confident yourself into turning someone who is more confident than your average Joe Schmo. Or let's say your ex starts to play games, right? Well, when you believe that you matter, when you start to value yourself, to love yourself, you will not put up with the games anymore. You will not engage in that. When they try to manipulate you, in the case of like a toxic ex, you can say to them, no, I won't accept that behavior. Feel free to talk to me when you're gonna behave like a normal person. You get the balls, the courage to say stuff like that, to rock the boat, which is often the solution to getting an ex back. in these sorts of dynamics that I just described. Also, talking of solutions, and the solution to starting to value yourself, the solution to caring more about yourself, more that is than your ex and what they think and what they do, well, what you need to do to reach that place is realize that they are not above you, they shouldn't be on a pedestal, that you should not put them on a pedestal, that you are worthy yourself fundamentally, whether this relationship works out or not. That's probably one of the most powerful mindsets to adopt to combat codependency. And from there, it's all about actions, baby. It's all about you doing things that align with that mindset. So when you, let's say, start thinking, hey, I actually am worthy, I don't need to always subjugate myself to my ex, we can then extrapolate that. And sure, it's gonna feel weird at first because right now it's just a mindset, but when you start actually putting out actions aligned with that mindset, like for example, telling your ex when they're late for a date, hey, I don't want to tolerate you being late for the date, please don't be late next time, or I'm just not going to set up another date or something like that. Or maybe you tell your ex that, hey, you know that one time a few minutes ago you were really disrespectful, I really want you to like stop saying that or stop doing that, it makes me feel very devalued, it makes me feel hurt. You will have the balls to do that when you adopt the mindset of you being of equal worth to your ex, and well, it kind of goes hand in hand. The more behaviors you display that align with that mindset, the more that mindset will manifest and grow, and the more confident you'll become. And that's how you will ultimately beat codependency. And yes, sometimes it's just the case that you have a very severe case of codependency, in which case therapy or some professional intervention is needed. But for the most part, for most people, if you're suffering from some low-key codependency, a mild version of sort, just adopting the mindset that I'm explaining in this video and the actions that go and align with it is enough to eventually overcome this codependency. And while it might not take you just days or weeks, it's probably gonna take you months. Despite that, it is possible. It is possible for a person to start and overcome their codependency eventually. Now, before I wrap up, I just want to offer you something that will help you implement everything I covered. So I've put together this free cheat sheet called the Reattraction Cheat Sheet. You can download it via the link in the description below this video. It goes through my entire system, my entire process, philosophy, methodology, whatever you want to call it, for getting back with an ex. And I feel it's really gonna help you out. Just click the link in the description below, and that's pretty much it. Now remember, the path to either getting your ex back or moving on, if maybe you at some point figure out they're not the right person for you, it all starts with valuing yourself. The moment you truly believe you matter is the moment everything else begins to change. So that's it from my side. It's your boy signing out. Take care.